Hi class. In this video, I'll work through a few homework problems from the Measures of Central Tendency homework. This is in your Statistics unit, topic 3. Okay, the first question asks for you to find the mean, median, and mode of the data set. Because we're working in our Statistics unit, you can pull out your calculator. In order to find the mean, I want you to add those 6 numbers together and then divide by 6. So this will be 9 plus 4 plus 8 plus 4 plus 6 plus 5. Take that sum and divide by 6, and that gives you a mean of 6. Next, the median is the middle number when the numbers are in least to greatest order. The first thing I want you to do is rewrite these numbers in numerical order. So I'll have 4, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. The middle number falls right here in between 5 and 6. When that happens, I want you to average 5 and 6 together. 5 plus 6 divided by 2 would give you a median of 5.5. Mode is the number that appears most often, and in this set of data, the mode is 4. And those are your answers. Next question says a teacher asked her students how many pets they have, and here are the results in this frequency table. The first question, how many students were surveyed? To find that number, I want you to add the frequency column together. So that will be 2 plus 6 plus 4 plus 1, which is 13. The next question says on average, how many pets does each student have? Round your answer to the nearest tenth. We could go through this table and multiply the number of pets times the frequency. So for example, 2 students had 0 pets, so we'll represent a 0 for those 2 students. 6 students had 1 pet, so we'll represent that with 6 pets. 4 students had 2 pets each, that's a total of 8 pets. And 1 student had 3 pets. So this is your total number of pets. When you add this together, you get 17. Remember, we did have 13 students. So when we divide 17 by 13, we get the decimal 1.3. And it did say round to the nearest tenth, so we'll keep it at 1.3. And that's your final answer for part B. Next question says in your biology class, your final grade is based on several things: a lab score, scores on 2 major tests, and your score on the final exam. There are 100 points available for each score. However, the lab score is worth 23% of your total grade. Each major test is worth 22.5, and the final exam is worth 32%. Compute the weighted average for the following scores. Okay, so we're going to talk real quickly about weighted average. And so here are the major categories. The lab is worth 23%. Each test is 22.5%, and the final exam is 32%. And then this last sentence said specifically what this student scored for each of these: an 80 for the lab, 60 on test number 1, 91 on test number 2, and 83 on the final exam. In order to find the weighted average, you need to first find the percentage of each of these grades. And to do that, we will multiply the decimal version of each percentage times the actual grade and then add those all together. So we'll first multiply 0.23 times 80 to get 18.4. Next, we'll multiply 0.225 times 60, and that's 13.5. The other test will multiply 0.225 times 91, which is 20.475, and the final exam is 0.32 times 83, which is 26.56. And now we'll add those values together. And when you add those values together, you have a final grade of 78.935. And it's not specific on what it wants you to round it to, so you can go ahead and just type in that entire decimal, or you can try to type in 78.9, but that is your final answer. And that's how you find a weighted average. Next question says Willie has an average of 82.2 on the first 5 exams. What is the least he can score in order to have an average of 85 for all 6 exams? Okay, he's taken 5 exams, and when you add those 5 exams together, then divide by 5, it equals 82.2. Now write this as an equation. It would be x divided by 5 equals 82.2. We're going to take this equation and solve for x. In this equation, x equals the sum of the first 5 exams. And so to find that sum, you'd multiply 5 to both sides so that x equals 411. Now that's not your final answer. That's just test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you add those scores together, that's 411 points for Willie. Okay, so next, part 2 of the story is that Willie wants to take those 5 exams that total 411. He wants to add another test, so I'm going to call that test A. He wants to divide that new sum, divide by 6, because now there's a total of 6 exams, and he wants that to equal 85. Okay, so if I were to rewrite that to look more like a recognizable equation, it would be 411 plus A divided by 6 equals 85. And now I want you to solve for A. Multiply 6 to both sides first. This will be 411 plus A equals 510. Subtract 411 from both sides. And the least Willie can score is a 99 on the 6th exam. Next question says a teacher gave the same test to 2 classes. In the class with 50 students, the mean score was 74. In the class with 30 students, the mean was 82. What is the mean score for all of the students? All of the students represent the 30 students plus the 50 students, which is 80. So that's our total number of students. But each class had a different average, and so it's not correct to just add their 2 averages together and divide by 2, because one class had 50 students and the other class had 30. And so we have 50 students representing the average of 74, 30 students representing the average of 82. And so the equation you need to solve is 50 times 74 plus 30 times 82. And once you find that sum, divide by 80. Okay, 50 times 74 is 3,700, plus 30 times 82 is 2,460. We're going to add that together and divide by 80. 3,700 plus 2,460 is 6,160 divided by 80. So right now the 6,160 is all 80 students, their individual test score added together. It sums to be 6,160. Divide that by 80 to get a final average of 77. Okay, next question says determine the mean, median, and mode of the data represented by the dot plot. Each one of these dots will represent an individual data point. So this first dot is a 2, then we have a 3, and then there are 3 4s, which a better way to write that is 12. There's 1 5, there's 2 7s, which we'll write a 14, and there's 4 9s, which is a 36. You can already tell what the mode will be. The mode's going to be 9 because it has the most number of dots. Looking at this multiple choice, do you see these bottom 2? It says the mode is 4. That is incorrect. There are 4 values of 9, and so you can go ahead and cross out these last 2 options. Okay, first to find the mean, we're going to add these values together and then divide by the total number of dots. If you count those dots, you should find that we have 12 dots. Now if we add these values together, 2 plus 3 plus 12 plus 5 plus 14 plus 36, divide that by 12. When you add that together, it's 72. 72 divided by 12 is 6. Looking back at our multiple choice, there's only one answer choice that has mean of 6, and it does have the mode of, so let's just check the median real quick. The median is the middle value once the numbers are in numerical order, which because they're plotted on this number line, they are in numerical order. There's a total of 12 dots, so the median would be right after the 6th dot. And so we could add 5 plus 7 together and then divide by 2, which is 6. And so this third answer choice is correct. Okay, so that's all the problems that I have for you on this video. Please let me know if you have any questions as you're working through this homework assignment.